Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, we have to.
It's been a minute. We haven't done a Tabby Hour podcast in a second.
It has been a minute.
And here we are.
New and improved.
Back and better than ever.
New studio. A lot of new venues.
A lot of growth.
Oh, yeah. Just got back from Hotel Hartness.
Yeah. So cool out there.
Big win for the brand.
So I feel like we're going to kick off 2025 with a really consistent pattern for the podcast. But I feel like we need to recap and catch people up on 2024 of what's happened. What are some cool things we've learned about Greenville, the Southeast? Some cool things coming in 2025. And where should we start? Should we start with, it is happy hour right now, and it's Tabby
It's
hour.
the Tabby hour.
It's
It is
the Tabby hour. So what's your favorite happy hour in Greenville?
Wait, I feel like we need to start off by saying let's say that this is a recap, we need to go through what's best of 2024. Let's run it back, take people through the journey. We really made Greenville our backyard, our stomping ground, gotten a lot of traction here, especially over the past half a year.
Yeah.
And really thrown ourselves into the community. Had some parties, had some great parties, had quite a few drinks, made a lot of friends in the food and bev industry and in the party scene. So, I don't know. I would say we may not be experts, but we're certainly expert adjacent, to where to go in the hot spots.
I think we went pro.
We might have gone pro.
Maybe semi-pro.
I'm
going pro in 2025.
There you go.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
We're
that.
What's the, in football in the UK where they're relegated?
Do you have to say football?
Football.
Is that how you
Yeah.
That's not even a UK accent. That's, but yeah, we're moving up. We're moving up to the big leagues.
The promotion.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. We're about to be Division 1. So cheers to that.
I feel like we should also start off with how many people actually know that Tabby is an app versus the Tabby Hour podcast?
We're not an event company, actually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we are not promoters. We are, but promoter adjacent.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, we will be promoters.
We are your guide to a good time, wherever you are. Who's out? What's going on? What places should you be at tonight for happy hour, etc.?
In real time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No guessing. All right, so what's the best happy hour in Greenville?
Well, we're all biased, right?
Yeah.
We are notorious Larkins lovers.
It's a great happy hour.
It is objectively a great happy hour.
I feel like it was slept on too before Tabby.
I would have to.
How much credit can we take for that?
Maybe not all, but we definitely contributed to it blowing up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Larkins has been around a while, right?
Yeah.
New location though.
Yeah.
Has been around
True.
less time. And then but half off of an entire food menu from 3 to 6 every day of the week.
It's unprecedented.
Not to mention-
dollar oysters.
Yeah. And great cocktails.
Do they still do that? Dollar oysters?
Dollar oysters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buckashuck?
Yeah.
Buck a shuck. Yeah. They should probably use that.
I believe they do. I don't think
I'm going to tell. They're actually going to be on the podcast. Adam and Christina will be on next week. So
Larkins is definitely up there. I feel like, outside of the Tabby venues, you have to give Society. They've got buy one get one appetizers, great cocktails.
Oh, that's a great deal.
amazing food.
Yeah.
Good vibe. Yeah, Society stands on its own.
For
The
sure.
the thing that I'll say about Society is they are very consistent.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
go get some solid food at 11 p.m.
Right.
and it's not Waffle House. That's just kind of slapped on a plate sometimes.
Yeah, and I like that they've got a burger, fried chicken sandwich, or you can get pho.
Oh, their
or-
ramen is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have an orange chicken ramen. It's so good. I've heard, and I can't say this for sure, but I've heard Scoundrel has a fabulous happy hour, especially for the more budget-friendly folk who are not sitting down for the tableside beef tartare and the.
I'll go on a limb to say, when a new restaurant opens like that, I don't know that Greenville knew that it was ready for Scoundrel. And what I mean by that is, I feel like when it first opened, there was a lot of talk about, oh, it's really expensive, or I had one of the best meals of my life at Scoundrel the other night.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It's Joe Cash, right?
Joe
Who's
Cash.
the
That
executive
dude is
chef
is
there.
a magician.
You know what stood out to me most about that was their dessert. What was that we had? We had a pistachio, raspberry.
The creme brulee.
Yeah, I'm a creme brulee snob, so it was a good creme brulee. Was it my favorite in Greenville? Please don't. I'm sorry, Jill. But whatever pastry we had, pistachio, raspberry-ish thing, that has resonated with me, and I thought of that. Also, their oysters. Let's do best oysters.
I mean, there's two. There's two that come to mind: Jones and Scoundrel.
Yeah. I think Gianna has great oysters.
Never had them.
They're consistent.
Don't sleep on Gianna though.
They're
And Coral's
consistent.
got good oysters as well.
Yeah, Coral.
I'm excited for the Dutchman. There's two new raw bars opening next year. The Dutchman, which is the 05, 07, 15 guys. And that's going in where Reed's Fine Food was. And that's going to be, location is perfect for something like that. There's not really a true designated raw bar, strictly seafood place. But then also Otteray, who is Taft with the Fair House.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a new project that they're working on, which I believe is 2025, but it may be earlier. I'm a Instagram follower.
So we'll get to 2025.
Yeah, I know.
Of what we're excited about.
But still,
But what's
oysters.
oysters?
That's where I was coming from. Was two new spots for oysters that are coming up. There's a lot of oyster places here.
Yeah.
Where is Otteray going to be?
I think it's Otteray. Lawrence Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's the best new spot that's opened in 2024?
This past year.
Yeah.
Let's run back.
I'll throw PKL Park in the hat.
Yes.
It's not a restaurant necessarily, but their food is amazing coming out of the kitchen. But what a cool spot.
I know. Am I allowed to say maybe giving Yeehaw a little bit of a run for their money?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for game day?
Them and New Realm both. New Realm's another one that opened this year.
Did they open this year? I feel like they've been around.
I think you're right.
I think that was 20
Solidify.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's December, guys.
Yeah.
I know.
The year's over.
And then the Draper.
The Draper.
That was gonna be mine.
That might be mine.
That's also my most underrated. Is I think
Has it been open enough? Has it been open long enough yet to be considered underrated? Or are they just kind of taking off yet?
I don't know. One thing about Howard and Lisa Dojo is they move quietly. They open. Am I mistaken in saying the cocktail company opened up this year? Was that this year?
You might be right.
Might have been early on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Don't
it was.
sleep on that place. That place is underrated.
Yeah.
I feel like it's picking up momentum.
It's picking up momentum, but that's how they usually operate. Is like they open something and they're like, okay, well, you guys find it.
I'll be interested to see how the Cat's Pajamas does, because I think Greenville's looking for more live music, and having a cool venue like that, I think adds to the music scene as a whole.
For those that don't know, the Cat's Pajamas is Draper's upstairs lounge area. Super upscale, leather couches, huge, like really beautiful bar, little stage area.
Yeah.
That's an underrated spot. As far as like a nightlife scene goes, I think but it really hasn't been open very long. What, like
Maybe 3 months.
September,
Yeah.
late August.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any live music aside from like their in-house resident DJ play. So I'm not sure what they're planning on bringing.
Lisa and Howard are smart in that they've got Cowboy Up and the Foundry both doing line dancing, kind of the country vibe. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Foundry. I mean, that's what, a 1,500 person venue.
Yeah, something like that.
That's one of the bigger music venues in Greenville.
Their Wednesday nights are popping.
The line dancing. Yeah, it's like a cult following.
I know several people
Yeah.
who go on Wednesday nights out
Either
there.
to dance or just to watch, because it is a spectacle.
It is a spectacle. If you don't know how to line dance, I'm a dancer.
I don't know how to
And
line
I went
dance.
line
I
dancing
have no idea.
out in like Anderson somewhere. And everybody just knows what they're doing. I'm like, do you guys like meet at each other's houses and like get a lesson? Like, how do you know what you're doing right now?
I think there's a video that's circulated of
There's
the
like one
routine.
big like group message.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I think that's the case.
We're all in group me with each other.
I met someone recently who's part of the line dancing crew, and they're intense.
What's your most underrated?
Underrated, just restaurant bar in general.
Yeah.
You don't hear people talk about the Trapdoor a ton. I feel like that's a sleeper. Yeah. It's been here for a while. It was like one of the first restaurants I went to.
That's
in
if
Greenville.
you know, you know. Though.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
If you know, it's in the top
It's beloved.
tier.
Yeah, it is, and
Right.
it's just a cool vibe. It's cozy.
But to your point, a lot of people have moved to Greenville that don't know about it.
Yeah, they're gonna go to Halls, Larkins, Coral, the big ones that have a big presence on Main Street. But yeah, I think Trapdoor's it's a cool spot to get a cocktail or grab a bite.
What about best date night spot?
Are we talking first date or are we talking like
This has to be. There's some subcategories here.
right? Let's do first date first.
So it depends on. I think for first date, it depends on how. Like, did you just meet this person on Hinge?
You met on Hinge.
You met on Hinge. Okay. I feel like I feel like PKL Park would be a great spot for that. Like, it's kind of open gather would be a good spot for that. It's pretty casual.
Right.
Like, you don't want to go to Halls and sit down and have a 3-hour conversation on a first date. Although that's where my wife and I went on our first date. But,
This guy, big spender.
Yeah,
We also got married.
Subtle plug.
We also got married a year later.
When
so,
you know, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think sitting at the bar at like Oku or Indako,
oh god,
it's a great spot. It's a
Oku
little
is
more.
one of the sexiest places in Greenville to me. It's just got this posh and yet relaxed, and I love the purple, and I like that you can sit and watch them, the bar where you can watch them make the sushi, or you can sit at the bar, or it's not too fancy, but it's not super casual. They always have good music playing.
Yeah.
The lighting is great.
I feel like Swordfish would be a good spot too.
I think Swordfish, because I'm not keen on having like a full dinner. I'm not sure if you guys have ever had a full dinner with someone you met on a dating app and you are not into. And
I absolutely 100% have
I'm having
every time.
like PTSD flashbacks. Like
I usually go for the cocktails. Keep it light. Maybe
I think
an appetizer.
Vault and Vader is a great spot for our first. Like, it's quiet, it's chill. You can have a conversation there. You're gonna have a good drink. The lighting is good, but you're not sitting down for a full meal. It's a starter spot. Then if things are going well, you're like, hey, do you want to go to Coral? Exactly.
The rabbit hole would be a good spot to start.
That's my most underrated. I feel like people don't talk about the rabbit hole enough, especially at Christmas time. This time of year at the rabbit hole, they have the upside down Christmas tree coming from the ceiling. Sebastian, the owner, it's like the rabbit hole's his passion project. He's in commercial real estate. So he is definitely creative visionary though, and you can tell when you go in there. And I love a theme, and it's very hard not to make something touristy or like a, feel cheap.
That's a local spot for sure.
Yeah.
Like
It's off the beaten path.
It
so
is.
You
It's
have
not
to
for
kind of.
us. It's close to
No,
us.
it is.
Yeah.
But you have to know about it. It's like if you know, you know.
If I could change one thing about the rabbit hole, Sebastian, I'd love to come there more often. If you just opened like an hour earlier. Like open
What
at
time do they open?
5 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
So I think 4 p.m. Like I'm it's an easy 4:30 happy hour.
Right,
on the way
exactly.
home.
We're dipping out of the office a little early. We're getting
Yeah.
a drinky.
Yeah.
I mean, Larkins starts their happy hour at 3.
Yeah.
Granted, Larkins is open all day.
True.
But still, I feel like in this day and age, a happy hour at 3:30 is not uncommon,
It's very common.
especially on a Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not Monday, Tuesday.
Well, they're not even open Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go there a lot more often if it was opened at 4 p.m.
Sebastian.
Just saying.
Same can be said with Bar Margaret.
Yeah.
Great
best burger in town, but they serve it like 2 days a week for lunch.
Oh, best burger.
Yeah, best burger in town is
Huge statement.
Okay.
That is-
So
You're also
there's
gonna
two. There's
Go
two.
against Jack Brown's
There's
like that.
two. There's two best burgers in town. It's Bar Margaret and Jack Brown's.
I don't know if Bar Margaret holds anything against Jack Brown's in my book.
I have also heard, again, this is through the grapevine. I haven't experienced it personally, but Scoundrel. I heard the burger at Scoundrel for
That's
the
not
deal.
surprising.
Also, like what you get money's worth is phenomenal. People rave about the burger at Scoundrel.
I would, you could tell me that Joe Cash has the best anything on that menu, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, that checks out.
Yeah.
If you put it on there, you did it right. So that makes sense.
Joe, you better give us the time of day after this, because I'm hyping you up big right now. When you got it, you got it. So
He's got it. That's good.
well, I don't know if you guys have been the last time you've been to the Rabbit Hole, but I went maybe a month ago, and
probably a
Sebastian
month.
walked me through the back speakeasy, which they have completely redone, and they put in like a floor of pennies.
Oh, cool.
Like, yeah, they completely reoriented it. So if you haven't been lately,
Is that your favorite speakeasy, or is it Maestro's?
it is Entre Nous, Maestro's Bistro. And you know what? They could stand to update some things, but that's almost part of its charm, is that it's like a local favorite, and it's so under the radar.
It's endearing, right?
It's not trying. Yeah, I mean, it's a little. Okay, also, is it kitschy or kitschy? You know the word I'm talking about?
No idea.
No idea.
K-I-T.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't know
Like,
which one it is.
okay, all right. Well, fine. I'm going to
Is
say
it
kitschy.
any comparison to the word chic?
No, not even.
Not even
they might
close.
be antonyms.
I feel like it's closer to like cheesy.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
It's a little like touristy. You
Yeah.
know, tourist trap kind
Well,
of.
it's in a hotel.
Not touristy,
And
but
to be
like
fair, it's in a hotel.
a little on the nose. You know, like they got the little Jack Daniel's barrels on the walls, and like, but it's got it's got like 3 fireplaces in there, and like some couches, and then it's got tables, and you can order food from Maestro's Bistro, which is it's another if you know spot. Like when I went in there last time, Mayor Knox White was in there. You know, it's a it's a nice. They've got great food, great empanadas, and a
Interesting.
cute little bar area, and like this cool chandelier made of wine glasses. Maestro's it's a little hole in the wall, but it's really nice. And then you can order all of their food late night over at Entre Nous, and they have live music like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's my dream to host a burlesque show there, and I've talked to them about it, like a really upscale, high class mix between singing and dancing with like ticketed.
Because they have the stage, right?
They have a stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a little
it's like a
elevated
platform.
area,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, with a
small.
little like banister. But that's my dream to do. I've talked to them about it. They're interested.
I've
So,
got to check it out.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
Yeah.
What's your
Great
favorite
desserts.
speakeasy?
You said it earlier, but probably swordfish.
Is that a speakeasy though, or is that just a
They don't really advertise.
craft?
They don't
cocktail bar?
advertise. When I think of a speakeasy, I think of somewhere that does not try and push it to the public.
They almost don't want people.
Well,
Like-
it was a club. It started
Was it
out as
his
a
house?
club in his garage.
Yeah,
And
it's a cool
then-
story. We should have him on the podcast.
Yes, we should.
His name's Brad.
But what they do with their ice, they order their ice in and they shave it themselves. I mean, it's like different shapes for each cocktail.
Don't they have like you can bring your own
Bottle.
Yeah.
bottle and put it on the top shelf or something like that?
Social Cigar does the same thing. You can have a locker.
Oh, Social Cigar is underrated. I don't even like cigars. The smell of cigars actually makes me nauseous, quite frankly. But I went in there and was blown away by the ambiance that they've created. The real men's study with the green lamp and, leather and the wood on the wall and the big social neon sign. It's really cool.
They've made it super approachable though.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of women in there when I'm there.
Yeah,
Sitting at the
I
bar
know.
smoking cigars, like girls groups, like
Way
just
cooler than
two
me.
two girlfriends just meet up and like smoke a cigar. I'm like, that's badass. I
That
love
is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. It kind of resembles switch yards in their like aesthetic on the inside.
Yeah, kind of. That's a good...
When you walked us through switch yards, that was the first thing that went off in my head. I was like, man, there's some similarities here.
Like
and
almost
just
like a
low-
library study feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which switch yards is doing. I mean, talk about another
They
big
sold out
move
in like
2024.
yeah. Switchyard sold out in like a couple hours after they released memberships. For those that don't know, Switchyards is the co-working social club in Village of West Greenville. So it's got kind of like a vibe that's a mix between a hotel bar / lobby, a college library, and I can't remember. They kind of market it this way. There's one other thing, but I don't remember what it is. Like
Some type of lounge.
yeah.
The low seating, the leather.
A lot of different options too. And it's a cool story. That spot in West Greenville used to be like they used to store fur jackets there. And so they've kind of taken that and they've taken the textile, rich history of Greenville and, Shoeless Joe Jackson and integrated all these Greenville historical pieces into the vibe that they tried to curate in there.
So we've talked a lot about ambiance. What's the best ambiance?
Oh my God, what a loaded question.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go top 3 here.
I was about to say, it's also like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for that dimly lit vibe? Are you looking for something that's a little bit more social where...
How about like indoor, outdoor?
Best indoor ambience, best outdoor ambience.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with best outdoor ambience. That I might regret saying this out loud. It could be so much better, but up on the roof. Up on the roof has so much potential. And I know it's a hotel bar. It's one of the best views in Greenville. It's so cool. They just it misses some marks on the details.
It does. And yeah, exactly. I'm like, am I allowed to say this? But everyone I've ever talked to has been like, if you say that on a public platform, you would be doing them a favor because it is so cool up there. The view's great. There's really no rooftop like that, especially, and it's great for like a big group of people too. I don't know.
And it's not terrible. It's just, it could be so much cooler.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Yeah, I mean, the food could be a little better.
Well, and like they've got the fire pits. We went and watched a game, I don't know, a couple months ago, and fire pits roaring. You're sitting on the couches. It's comfortable. Big TVs. The vibe is there. They just got to ramp up the
I feel like I'm having
food
one of
and
these
drink.
those moments. Have you seen the meme where it's like, "Can I be mean for a second?" And we can cut this out if you don't want to post this. But like, the food could be better. The service could be better.
I mean, we did start this post with "Let's talk some shit."
Yeah, no, and this is, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm coming from a perspective of like business person to business person. And it's not like it's just us. I talk about places to go in Greenville all the time. And, Up on the Roof was one of the OG places here. I was talking to my roommate and she was like, oh yeah, when we first turned 21, that was like one of the staples and we would go there. And she went there recently for, I don't know if it was Easter or something. And her mom was like, we're not coming back here because there's people just don't, it's like, they're like, not just they don't care, like the service is like, they're like.
All right. So that's the best. We're talking about best outside ambience.
Right. Well, Gianna also. I don't want to sleep on the Gianna bar, especially the indoor-outdoor. You really feel like you're on a terrace in Europe. You're kind of overlooking Falls Park a little bit. So you're right in the heart of downtown where the West Side meets traditional downtown. Also,
what's the restaurant right there on the falls?
Passerelle
People
Bistro.
love Passerelle.
I'm a little bit of a
I happen
French.
to be the same, but
You love it?
no.
I love the ambiance.
Right. It's great for a glass of wine, and it's in a very convenient location.
How's their wine list?
It's not bad.
Who has the best wine list in Greenville?
Probably Halls in terms of just extensive.
They have the most. Yeah, they have the most capital.
It's just
Can we talk about Halls?
Let's talk about Halls.
I love Halls, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Halls was your first date spot with your now wife.
First date spot. We do every anniversary there.
Sweet.
We also went there after we got engaged.
Aw.
So
A lot of history
it's
there.
a staple for us.
Halls Nightlife.
That was also in a time. So that it's
That's what I'm Get Sexy GVL. So let's talk about Halls after hours. Halls after dark.
I've had some funny experiences. So when I first moved to Greenville, before I met my wife, one of my buddies, he was a frequent flyer at the Halls bar 4 days a week.
Upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs, right as you walk in. Mm-hmm. And it's a vibe. I mean, the live music, some good musicians rolling through there, a lot of who's who coming in and out.
Right. You know what I love at Halls? I love that little cove when you first walk in that's the bar's here and it's to the left.
Yeah.
It's in this little pocket.
That's where we sat on our first date.
That is the sweet spot of Halls, in my opinion. And if you order from their bar menu, you don't have to spend a ton.
Oh, they have a great $14 burger.
Yeah.
Steak martini, also.
Yes.
Delicious.
Had the steak martini.
I like
fabulous.
the downstairs bar.
So that wasn't open when I first moved here.
Billy's bar. They sent our guy Billy to Greenville after the Charleston riots, and he started Billy's bar. Is apparently the story. That's unconfirmed.
We'll have to have somebody on the podcast to confirm that.
We should get Billy on the podcast.
I think he's back in Charleston, but I don't know. But Billy's bar is my spot. I like peeling in there.
I didn't even know that existed for the longest time.
There's always seating down there too, because I think it's just a well-kept.
Hush-hush.
Yeah,
the thing about Halls, the way I would describe Halls after dark to someone is a bunch of good old boys and bad little girls, just looking to get into trouble, and everybody. Trouble is the most polite way I can say that.
I feel like
Men
it's also,
who should not be fraternizing are always fraternizing to the nth degree, and that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Spark
it's also
Notes is just Halls is for cheaters.
some divorcees in there for sure.
I think that I think it depends on the day and the time of day, and I think it depends on, if you've got a busy weekend conference in town, you're definitely going to have the out-of-town crew, business crew in there. They may be fraternizing.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating.
But may not be.
But it is a lot of Southern gentlemen and a lot of young, cute girls who are
They know what they're there for.
Yeah, for sure.
Free martinis.
Exactly. And they've got a strong
4-ounce
martini
Yeah.
there. Yeah. It's right when you get to the level of maturity where you want to like start dabbling in dirty martinis, like you're going to do it at Halls. Like Halls is going to be your first stomping ground, I feel like. And then I do feel it's weird because Halls is, you know, notoriously more upscale, but
It's chill though. It can be.
it is. It is. They've got a great espresso martini also.
I would say they have the best dirty martini in town.
Yeah, blue cheese olives
Yeah.
on point.
Nice.
I would say I really like Larkin's espresso martini.
You like the draft?
Yeah.
The nitrous in it, it's creamy.
The nitro cold brew.
It's not too sweet, but it's good.
I like corals a lot as well.
Corals is good.
I feel like
Corals
they
is solid. I mean,
swing.
Coral,
It's pretty sweet though, right?
It is.
Coral is like all around solid.
Yeah.
What they've done there is impressive. The bar presence they've built, the upscale dinner, the craft cocktails, the service is always on. I've never had bad service there. That's one
Yeah.
thing I've always. They can be slammed to the wall. You're like,
I
oh
agree
man, this is
with
going
that.
to take forever. You get a table and you have instant service, and it's fast food, fast drinks. They do a good job there.
It feels like Sex in the City to me there. I love it when they have the windows open.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
great location.
Yeah. I've never actually dined in Coral. I've only ever been on the one side.
The bar side.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting. Scoundrel had a similar. God, Joe Cash, I swear, if you do not take a meeting with me or something after this, like how many times, take a shot every time I bring up Scoundrel. But a similar vibe of like, this side is more casual side. This is more drop in, have a drink with your bestie, or go on a quick first date. Casual, sexy, city-ish vibe, loungy. And the other side is like stay, have the experience, you know, sit down, take your time, enjoy the food. And I think it's an interesting concept that appeals to a lot of people. I mean, clearly, Coral has no problem filling seats. So,
Yeah, they crush it.
What are we most excited about for 2025?
as a music lover, I am so excited to see what True Line does. I'm excited for all of the arts and entertainment. I think Greenville was born to be like a little, like if Nashville and Austin had a baby.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's how I see. I think there's a lot of artsy people here. You have like the Governor's School and the Fine Arts Center and a lot of people who left high school like halfway through the day to go and do something artistic, and that was built into their curriculum. And a lot of people who use art to break out of their status quo of what is traditionally, more of, the Bible Belt, or, it's their outlet and their expression to be a little bit different. And you see that there's a ton of wall murals here and cool,
Especially in the West Village.
statue. Exactly.
Yeah.
There are artsy concepts here, and the thing that's really lacking is a music scene. You have little tiny pop-ups, and you've seen more and more of them, and in different genres. There's, like the Sweet Treat and I've seen a ton of house pop-ups come up, and there's a really strong DJ presence here. But not a ton of live music, and it's not for lack of talent here. It's
So you've got Bon Secours that like those
The
are
Well.
those are the big name ticket. Like you got to have a lot of money and a lot of backing to be able to play Bon Secours.
Oh, for sure.
But so then you've got the Foundry,
Radio Room.
Radio Room, Cowboy Up,
Right.
Cat's Pajamas. Are they kind of doing some bands and stuff?
And they've
I
got a
don't-
stage, but I think
I
it's
don't know.
DJ. I think it's
Oh God, I would love to see them lean into like a jazzy Jessica Rabbit. I can't go on enough about that. It just, to me, the ambiance there serves that. Same with like an Entre Nous, this, even if it's like one day a week, I'd like to see a more
Twice a month. Make it kind
like
of
Cat's
exclusive.
Pajamas being when you're ready to graduate from NEAT, You go to Cat's Pajamas. You know, you're in your late 20s now. You're in your early 30s now. You're trying to sit on a couch and you're trying to enjoy a little bit of culture, a little less, a little more.
Well, I heard a rumor that they were going to make it 25 and up.
Oh, really?
At one point. I don't know. They obviously didn't go with that, but.
I would like for them to be successful enough that they can do that.
Yeah.
But Trueline's going to fit kind of a sweet spot that Greenville doesn't have. They've got the 1,000, 1,500 person venues with the Foundry and the Radio Room, and then you've got the big arena, the Well. You don't have like what is it going to be, like 5,000 people?
So Trueline, the main stage is 1,700 cap. Then they have a second floor, smaller 400 person cap, which will be... They're really trying to foster local artists and smaller up-and-coming artists. Comedians also will be up there, so kind of like an alternative to the Comedy Zone, I guess. Or
don't Howard and Lisa own Comedy Zone too?
I guess if that's technically affiliated with Bond.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah. And then they have the VIP area. I think they prefer members club. To call it a members club with like a rooftop bar. There's a little something for everyone at Trueline, and they plan on having the whole outdoor area in front of it with like coffee and like light bites that you can order, and you can sit there and you can co-work all day. You don't have to be coming for a show or anything.
When are they opening?
I don't want to speak for them. You know how hard
But
it is to get permitting. 2025.
Yeah, okay.
At some point, I would say maybe like Q3.
What else is coming in 2025?
There's another music spot right underneath
the Dutchman.
The AC Hotel. The Dutchman, which we were talking about earlier. Raw Bar.
You said there was a music spot coming at the AC?
Yes, a whole arts and entertainment sector. You're talking about the one at the AC Hotel. That is like a smaller... Oh, it's called the Sarah. It starts with an S. I need to look it up. Can we look it up and just put it like in text over this or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll be live music, kind of adjacent to the cocktail company on the other side of those stairs.
Yeah.
Right under the AC. And then the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, a group out of Miami apparently fell in love with Greenville and wants to create an arts and entertainment district around the Bon Secours Wellness Arena with apartments and I guess places to have live music and entertainment and
I haven't even heard about that.
A pedestrian bridge.
Right by Bon Secours?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting as we go through all these venues, you know, a lot of them are partners on Tabbi. A lot of them have installed Tabbi. They have, you know, Toast point of sale that, shameless plug for Tabbi, which is the next question. What is the place that takes the longest to close your tab?
Gonna be Yeehaw for me.
Oh.
Dude, the fact that you have to wait in line to order food, open a tab there, wait in line to order a beer, open a tab there, and then wait in. You pay for your food when you close, but then you have to go back and wait in that line.
You got to wait in line just to close out. You don't even have any anticipation of getting a drink when you get up there. So you're just waiting to close out. That sucks.
Yeah, game days are ridiculous too because it's like a 40-person line. Doesn't make me want to go watch a game.
Where's the best place to watch a game?
I think now PKO.
I think so too.
I watched the games 2 Sundays ago.
New Realm is putting in a big TV.
Yep.
That'll be another good spot.
Yeah.
Dude, what Nick and John have done with that place and Rudy and all the team around it, it's a really cool spot.
Yeah. Very impressed.
That's a great live music spot.
Yeah,
they've
got
stage.
A great stage. They had a DJ actually during the Clemson USC game that played during the commercial breaks. It was really fun. You know, they've got the fire tables around there. It was a really good time.
I think they'll still have a great crowd through the winter.
I think
it is
so
outside.
Too.
But they are going to crush spring and summer.
Totally.
Crush it. I'm excited to see what they do there.
They did a really good job coming back to the arts piece of talking about the studio, the music studio that was
Yes.
at what is now PKL Park. And there's a podcast that Nick told me about worth checking out, but it's all about the different music and all the artists that came up in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s coming out of that studio and the history of the whole space.
That's cool.
Yeah, really, really interesting.
Nick and John, I'm going to send this to you. You guys need to come be on the podcast.
Totally. Oh my gosh. The food at PKL Park also, I can't emphasize this enough. A lot of indoor outdoor places rely on the fact that they have great ambiance, that they are providing an experience just by being what they are. Rudy at PKL Park and the kitchen there,
Bro, those meatballs.
insane. The meatballs, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, depending on your preference for Philly cheesesteak enjoyment. Their mac and cheese fritter bites.
You've done the whole sampler.
I have had quite a time there.
And Starkey has the cheese coming in from like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And the Philly is unbelievable as well.
He's a big Phillies fan.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
But that's what it takes, man. That's what it takes to stand out in a market. I mean, listen to all the things we just talked about that came in 2024. Greenville's one of the fastest growing, best places to live in the country. You've got to put something out there that's competitive. Which, I mean, there's enough space still to continue to innovate, but they're doing it. I mean, it's like, oh, you could open a pickleball court.
Yeah.
And you could open a restaurant, or you could open a music venue, or you could open a place to watch sports, but they kind of did all of it. And they're serving breakfast with a great coffee spot.
Yeah.
They've got Rise Bakery bringing bread in.
Yeah. I love the integration of other local businesses into local businesses. You know, I love to see local coffee shops like Augusta 20 bring in other local coffee brewers.
We haven't talked about coffee shops yet.
Oh, I could talk about coffee shops because I used to work remotely. So I bounced around a lot of different places. I do love Augusta 20. If I want to get any work done, I'm not going there.
Social club, which is
It
cool.
is basically a social club. You are going to see at least one person you know when you go into Augusta 20. And they've done a really good job cultivating a space that people want to be in.
Yeah.
It's very approachable.
All right, so let's list out what we have, and then let's go through the favorites. So you've got, obviously, Spill the Beans, Augusta 20. Over on the West Village, you've got the Village Grind. You've
Methodical.
got West, Methodical.
Coffee
the
Underground.
Tres Leches latte.
Okay, so
I'm methodical.
my favorite coffee shop, I think, in Greenville. Yeah, it's Underground Coffee.
They
And
have
it's
a great burger there.
It's so convenient, and it's also shameless plug for Frank's Hair Salon, Men's Salon.
Oh, yeah.
You can go grab a great coffee at Underground and go get your hair cut. Go see Karen at Frank's Salon. She's awesome.
We love Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, we have like 5 friends that go to Karen now. You found it.
Yeah. Any barbershop that's going to serve me cold beer or
Good
a
glass
nice
of wine.
glass of red, sign me up. But
It's also a great haircut.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool ambiance upstairs too. It's got like a little lounge up there.
Yeah, you intentionally show up 20 minutes early, which is a way to incentivize them to be on time. I've never had like a haircut that I had to wait over the time that I scheduled, which is key. It's I think that's kind of their maybe not their mindset, but it works that way. Is that you intentionally show up 15 minutes early because you know you can go upstairs and have a beer, throw your feet up,
Yeah.
and then you get the hot towel and the shampoo and
Yeah.
it's nice, man.
They do it right. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Shoulder massage.
I've seen mixed responses about this coffee shop. This was new in 2024, I believe, is Vintage Coffee over by like Fork and Plow in Clayton's Deli. Special shout out to Clayton's Deli. What's their little sweet potato?
I've never been.
Oh my gosh, they have, I think it's pound cakes. The pound cake man is his dad, Clayton. His dad is the pound cake man, which is right next to it. It's like Clemson famous. they have these sweet potato cupcake things, which, I mean, I guess a little competition for Brick Street Cafe, but phenomenal. Anyways, vintage coffee, great ambiance, and serve like a full menu of things. It is a little pricey, but they have the best toast ever. Any toast product you get there, you're going to be satisfied with.
You're talking about bread in the toaster.
That is correct. As a tech company, we do not want to confuse this with toast point of sale. Yes. Bread-wise, it's real thick and perfectly toasted and fluffy. Great avocado toast, great jam and brie.
I love a toast.
Yeah. Oh, the chocolate chip pancakes, you get like 4 huge pancakes.
It's the simple things in life.
It is.
Like warm buttered bread. Crispy, warm buttered bread.
Warm buttered bread. That whole area, Clayton's, Fork and Plow, Harry's Hoagies, they've got that ice cream shop that people...
Harry's is solid.
Yeah.
I've never been.
It's really good.
Oh, you got to go to Harry's.
Gotta
The
go to
Italian
Harry's.
sub there. It's good. It's good. What else? What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. What else we got in there?
Should we close out with... I don't know. Did we close out with a plug for Tabby?
Yeah, I think so. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, all right, well, we've reeled them in. If you're with us for this long,
Yeah.
you might as well learn about what we actually do, because
Yeah.
we are not travel guides, believe it or not.
We're just foodies that,
Just a couple of guys having fun, having a drink.
just a couple dudes, just a couple bros.
Just guys being dudes. What's better than this? So who have we brought on, or do we want to talk about what we do?
Yeah,
What
so
Tabby
let-
is?
Yeah.
Who better to do it than our founder and CEO, Brad Laughlin,
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah, so Tabby, I feel like maybe everybody doesn't know that
Yeah.
at all. So Tabby allows you to open your tab on your phone by location. So I walk into one of these venues. What's your favorite example to use?
A classic example is Larkin's.
Larkin's. We had like a big launch event there. Adam and Christina will be on the podcast next week. But there's a lot of technology that tries to integrate into hospitality, and I think that some of the big failures that we've seen with technology being integrated into restaurants specifically, is that it was built by people that have never worked in a bar or restaurant, and so by working for nearly 10 years in bars and restaurants, it's like it has to be very easy for the bartender and server to know how the system works. Toast, I'll shamelessly plug that Toast is the best point of sale in the market, and we've pushed a lot of technology and focus into that point of sale system, and the ability for us to merge the social connection between users, which I'll let you talk a little bit about, which was how we met on the first podcast talking about Tabby.
This is not my first podcast.
3 years ago. You guys can go check that out on YouTube. But the convergence of like social, the experience of going out. So I want to know where my friends are, how many people are there. I want to know what happy hours and events and live music and specials that are happening in town on a map that's very easy to find. It's approachable, humanizing technology in that way. And then convenience. So I can open a tab. It's pre-authorized. When I'm ready to leave, I leave.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
You can book a flight from your phone. You should be able to close your bar tab.
I don't know. I'm still a millennial, so those are still big screen purchases for me.
Are they really?
A flight? I'm probably going to
Really?
make sure. I don't know. I'm a boomer in that sense. I'm still going to pull my laptop out to book a flight.
Oh, I want to do everything.
Because I'm going to
on my
book
phone.
a hotel, a rental car, and a flight all in the same.
Well, that's just because you're not as spontaneous as we are.
I mean, there's days that I'm leaving 2 days from now. I don't know. I feel like it's a big screen purchase.
Well, they've
all the
made
other
the
millennials
apps.
out there will understand me.
They've made the app so easy to use, though. You can go on American, find your flight, book it.
Yeah,
everything's
I'm not
plugged
saying
in.
it's not
Well, and
possible
that's-
or easy.
That's
but
the thing about
still a big screen purchase. for me,
about
man.
building an app. People, as we've seen, are hesitant to give up space on their phone to an app. But when that app offers such a wide range of things. If you care about going out, you're somebody who is going out, you're enjoying nightlife or even happy hour or whatever, you're a traveler. I'm a huge researcher when I travel. I want to know what local people like and to be able to see, oh, these people live around here and they favorited this. If I want to go to a place that's not super crowded, I can use Tabbi to see, oh, there's only 3 Tabbi users here versus 15 at this bar. Depending on what vibe you're looking for, you get a good gauge of in real time, how busy is this place? And then if you're going out for the social component, there's not a ton of social apps that are actually social.
They've become just news feeds.
Yeah, they become doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Is really what it is. If
Yeah.
you actually want to be social and meet someone, there's really no app besides a dating app where you can find someone locationally, where you can see like, who is that person?
Or just find somewhere that a lot of people are at, where your likelihood of meeting friends is higher.
Exactly.
If it's society on a Friday at 10:30, the likelihood that you go up to the bar and you meet someone that's like-minded, you take a shot at JMO, whatever, it's higher. You have that information in front of you.
But the only way you know about that is if somebody tells you.
Especially if you're an out-of-towner.
That's what I'm saying. If you're from out of town,
Right.
like and you're visiting for the weekend, you're probably not going to find society, maybe, unless somebody's told you and you've like followed, and they do a great job of social media but it's a well-known place in Greenville for locals, but we have a lot of transient people here. And I think Tabbi's a small company, right? We're a scale up. We're headquartered in Greenville, but we release a new app every 2 weeks, and so I'm obsessed with making that core experience of going out a better experience every day. Like the engineering team, the sales team, the marketing team is focused on how do we put the information at your fingertips for the best places to go, and then make your experience really convenient when you're there.
Can I really quick for the audience, just a quick boiled down, Tabbi, for anyone who's not quite getting this, Tabbi is your all around going out experience app. It's right on your phone. You pull it up. It's location based. You can see all the venues in your area. You can see which ones accept Tabbi Pay. And in real time, you can see, 6 other Tabbi users are here right now. 12 other Tabbi users like it here. There's a happy hour going on, etc. Then, so when you're deciding where you want to go, you have it all laid out in front of you and you can see how busy it is and what are your chances of meeting other people there. Then, once you're there, you can open your tab from your phone and you can close and leave whenever you want. So there's no waiting 15 minutes at the bar to close out when all your friends are ready to go to the next place. And then, not only that, you can see, again, don't know if you'll be able to see this, all the people nearby. You can message them, you can add them as friends. So there's a whole social piece to it. It's every single part of the going out experience facilitated by technology that you will actually use.
Cheers. Well
Cheers.
said. We've got a lot of fun guests coming in 2025, and we're going to start, the 3 of us are going to start doing this more consistently. So
Let's do it.
you guys subscribe and continue to watch Tabbi Hour Podcast.